Okay, the next film we're reviewing is called In the Loop, and it may be the smartest satirical political film since 1997's Wag the Dog with Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman. It's about the anti-war sentiments and the forthcoming response from both the US and British sides. This film stars Tom Hollander as Simon Foster, a British MP, and Peter Capaldi as his chief of staff, Malcolm. And the two have an interesting, almost fretful type bully relationship, as Malcolm is seemingly annoyed constantly at Simon's thoughts and opinions and views on certain things during his interviews. He then he then starts getting into talking about world events, and when he calls a war with the Middle East unforeseeable, the panic button is hit and Malcolm almost literally goes crazy. And this sets a tone for a politically fun, dead-on, well-acted, and downright fantastic film that could be that at times is very laugh-out-loud funny. The humor in this film at times can sail over the heads of some people, but that's all within the charm, and that's what makes it all the more enjoyable. Now, joining the fray, surprisingly, is Anna Chlumsky, who was once a famous child star for her role alongside Macaulay Culkin in 1991's My Girl. She plays Liza, who is an assistant to the Secretary of State played by Mimi Kennedy, who's excellent as an knows all the answers politician, and they actually see Simon as someone they can use in order to thwart the efforts of an invasion. Klumsky is downright shocking in her performance and really is, in my opinion, her coming out party as an actress, and she gives me high hopes for her future. And opposing the Secretary of State is Lytton Barwick, an obvious satirical take on Donald Rumsfeld, played very well by David Rasche. Now, having some of the best lines in this film, however, in my opinion, delivering one of the best performances is James Gandolfini, best known as Tony Soprano, and he's really coming into his own as an actor, separate from that show. He stole the taking of Pelham 123 earlier in the summer from both John Travolta and Denzel Washington, and truly takes this film as well. He plays Lieutenant General George Miller, who also shares sentiments of not going to war as well. He figures once is enough. Chris Addison is also excellent as Simon's new aide, Toby, whose character makes the sort of moves that you wouldn't expect with his personality. Relatively unknown Paul Higgins is hilariously funny as a strange streetwise tyrant who spouts out some amazing one-liners that'll have you quoting them forever. Comedic actor Steve Coogan is also quite good as a political blue-collar constituent, and he shares a great scene with Gandolfini where Gandolfini actually holds his ground and holds his own in his comedic timing and delivery of the scene, and the exchange between the two is nothing short of awesome. The cast help makes the film, and it seems to me that it succeeds where political satire, say along the lines of American Dreams, may have been lacking. While the movie itself was great, American Dreams itself was good, it paraded around and relied too heavily on the big stars of the film. You can tell that the actors are here to deliver the intent of what the film is in this movie. It mixes the ingredients that made British TV comedy so great, as well as dry-witted North American humor. I had no idea that that sort of combination could work so well, especially in a political satire, and that's what really helped this movie a great deal. Now, much like the aforementioned Wag the Dog, it leaves us with an ending that truly wakes us up from the satire and the last of this film and provokes a little bit of thought. It leaves us with our own thoughts and opinions that we didn't think we had, and yet it's not like this is an Oliver Stone film in the grand scheme of things. It is a comedy. And at times they do go the low route with plenty of obscene language, but yet considering how these dimensional characters are drawn, it almost makes perfect sense. And they're not always swearing just to shock us or just to be, give the film filthy language. Or they're not swearing for the sake of swearing. That's just part of who they are. There's not one single moment in this film I did not enjoy, and major props to the writer-director Armando Iannucci and co-writers Jesse Armstrong, Simon Blackwell, Ian Martin, and Tony Roche. Yes, that's a lot of writers, but sometimes you need that many to come up with a film quite like this. All those things made this a brilliant experience and has been etched in my mind since I saw it. So for that, In the Loop gets the perfect 5.